Ski season has arrived at Snoqualmie Pass with Summit West, Summit Central, and Alpental all open for the season. Spokesman Guy Lawrence tells KIRO 7 about 78 inches of snow has fallen so far, a vast improvement over the last couple of years. Snoqualmie Pass is expected to get another foot to a foot and a half of snow before the end of tomorrow. Death threats made against a Pierce County judge earned one man additional charges on top of the 10-year sentence he's already serving. 32-year-old Michael Denton is in prison for throwing bodily fluids at a corrections officer last year. He appeared before Superior Court Judge Stanley Rumbaugh back in June, but when the judge refused to hear Denton's motions unrelated to his case, he became enraged and began swearing and threatening to kill the judge. On top of his assault charges, he now faces charges of intimidating a judge and felony harassment. The Seahawks are preparing to play the Packers in Green Bay this afternoon, where it's been snowing on and off all weekend, but Coach Pete Carroll isn't worried.
Oh boy, the announcer is.
Just couldn't get it. The high today in Green Bay is predicted to be a scorching 31 degrees with 1 to 3 inches of fresh snow on Lambeau Field. Our pregame show with Dory Monson and the gang starts in just an hour. The kickoff is at 1:25 on your home for the Hawks, KIRO Radio 97.3 FM. Time now to take a look at the weather. Highs today will be in the mid-40s with overcast skies hanging around all day and some scattered showers. The low tonight will be around 38 degrees. Right now we are seeing that rain come in. It's about 42 degrees in Seattle. I'm Sherry Trussler. Barely got that one out. What's his name?
Coach Robert. Yeah.
It's the easiest name there is. Who gets that wrong? Good luck, guys.
See ya.
Well, hello and welcome everybody, wherever you may be. This is Tom Kelly, and the show is Real Estate Today, right here on the new KIRO Radio Weekends, 97.3 KIRO FM. Every Sunday morning at 9, we take your questions, comments, and concerns about housing, home loans, tax, everything under your roof. In fact, if you borrow against your roof, this is the place to call. Today, we're going to look at interest rates, not only what happened in 2016, but ask our guest, Mark Palmer, to get out his crystal ball about what he sees in 2017. You know, for the last 3 or 4 years, all the experts said that interest rates would tick up toward the end of the year. It finally happened about 3 weeks ago. We actually had upward movement when it came to interest rates. Why did it take so long? What should we expect in 2017? If you're getting ready to buy a house, if you're getting ready to refi, this is a great day to call. 1-888-973-KIRO. That's 1-888-973-5476. Or go to our websites, mynorthwest.com, KIROradio.com. You can ask your question online right now. My guest is Mark Palmer. He's been a huge help to us here on Real Estate Today. He's with Absolute Loans. And he does a great deal of working with people when it comes to jumbo and conventional loans. And Mark,
Yes, sir.
We're up a couple of ticks. Why did we go up now?
You know what? We get into that secondary market, Tom, and secondary says, hey, we've got a new president-elect, everything must change. And one of the pieces that comes into this is that traders make money whether it ebbs or it flows. It's still going. So for the moment, it's a trade. And you take a look at what's going on in the stock market. We've got the same thing going on. There's all this excitement. Let's keep an eye on it because it's not settled yet. And it's just out there. It's coming, but we'll see where it's going to actually settle.
You know, people say that mortgage rates move on perception.
Yep.
You know, and new people in office are perceived to be doing something different. So therefore, the market's going to shift. It does not shift on reality.
Right.
It shifts on perception.
Yeah.
And we went up a couple of ticks. You know, we're a little bit over 4% for a 30-year fixed conventional loan.
Yeah.
However, because prices in the Puget Sound are going up, up and up, you're probably doing more jumbo business than conventional. Explain to our listeners what a jumbo loan is.
Yeah, and the name works really well. It is a loan that is larger than the agencies, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, are going to be diving into. It's more what we call private label money, not government-backed, not government security type stuff. And it is everything from large banks, there's familiar names, you know, your Wells, Bank of America, Chase, and so on, to large entities that have money to put into play, are putting that money out there. It might be the United Dental Association of Seattle. I don't know, I'm making something up here, but somebody who's got some millions of dollars they want to play in really safe, secured items. Well, what better place to be than Seattle? I mean, we just have a phenomenal market, and we're in shape. Put your money there.
What is a jumbo loan? What's the number on it today?
So we start with two definitions real quick here. Is that anything larger than $417,000 becomes a jumbo loan. Now we've got a couple of little interareas that are in there. One of them is that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA, they actually will go into a county high balance based on expense level. And that, right now, King Pierce, Snohomish County, for example, is $540,500. So you would perhaps just stay there, but right now, Tom, it's cheaper to get a jumbo than it is to get a Fannie Mae high balance loan. So I'd actually sell the jumbo before I'd sell the Fannie Mae.
So why is that? I mean, there was a time when we came out of the mortgage mess when you could not get a jumbo loan. There were no jumbo loans out there. All lenders wanted to do was give you a 30-year fixed rate loan, a vanilla loan.
Yep.
We don't want to talk about jumbos.
Yep.
We don't want to talk about adjustable rate mortgages.
Nope.
We want everybody to have a 30-year fixed.
Yeah.
Why is there jumbo money now?
So jumbo money is private money for, and again, very simplistic, what we call private label money. And that money can not exactly do whatever it wants, but it fits within its rules, guidelines as it sees itself. So it's looking going, wow, we have a lot of money that we want to get into play, and we like the markets that we're seeing, so let's go play ball. When the market started to come undone, they were like, wait a minute, we want to wait and see how this turns out, and they can do that. So they just stop the game in two ways. One, they shoot the prices way up so nobody wants it, but two, you make the criteria very difficult to get into. And so if you do take one in, it's probably platinum, not just gold. It's got diamonds all over it and everything else.
Mark, we talk about the Federal Reserve meeting, and a lot of media say, well, you know, if the Federal Reserve elects to increase interest rates, mortgages will immediately go up. That's not necessarily the case.
No. And you know what? Everybody forgets, Tom, we've had a couple of bumps, and what did rates do? They went down, like dramatically down. So if you've got a HELOC, for example, a home equity line of credit, that one's going to go up right away, proportionate to the increase. So will your charge cards, and hey, fortunately, so will your savings account to a certain degree.
So short-term debt.
Short-term debt, but your long-term, and when we're looking at those long-term notes, what happens there is that it's still based on economic decisions and economic performances. So that doesn't mean rates are going to go up. Typically, they will for a day or two because, again, we're back to trading, and as long as that flow is going, fantastic. But that doesn't mean rates are necessarily going to stay up.
Let's talk a little bit about that, especially in light of 2017. We saw a couple of bumps in the market in the past month. There were over 4%.
Yep.
For the first time in a long time,
Long time.
consistently over 4%. What's your crystal ball say for 2017? How much higher than 4.25 are we gonna get next year?
Sure. So we've got, excuse me, we've got a couple of trend lines that we're watching. One of them's going the way that it's supposed to, and we're seeing the trend line say, hey, as we get into the 15th, which is coming right at us, we will see an overall lower interest rate, and we are. I don't know if everybody out there knows, but we actually tapped up clear as high as about 4 3/4 for a couple of days, about 9 days ago. And we're coming back down. We expect to see this small dip happen this coming week, right in front of us. Feds do their thing, but then there's another piece that comes in, Tom, which is we're about to go into some very slow trading time. And so we always see rates go up during this period of time of the year just because there's not a lot of trading. People aren't buying, so therefore rates pop up.
But the last couple of years, you know, we've heard they're gonna go up, but they may have gone up, what, 1/10%?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. And you take a look at the overall line for last year, and we were way below all predictions that were coming out. Now, what we want to see is what happens the third week of January.
Right.
That's what we're after.
So I was gonna ask you that. The market's up, the stock market's up, the Trump factor has kind of taken its place to stabilize.
Yeah.
But when he actually takes office in that third week of January, what are we looking for?
So then what we're looking at is what is rhetoric of a campaign versus what's actual action. And there's several things that are going to come in. You know, his cabinet's going to be coming into place. We're going to be seeing what is going to be his true motivation and direction. The market on our side likes a lot of it, but they're waiting. So we've got one trend line that's just sitting there going on a sideways strip that we're not really sure that we're going to see where it's going to mature out to. We want to see if that turns around and heads down. Yeah, we can be back in the threes again if the market's happy.
We're gonna take a break and come back and speak more with Mark Palmer. We definitely will have room for you. 1-888-973-KIRO. That's 1-888-973-5476. Or the websites, mynorthwest.com, KIROradio.com. We can get to your comment, your question online right now. The show's Real Estate Today. We'll be right back.
There we go.
No music going in. No problem.
What do we got, 2 minutes, Tom?
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3? Okay, I'm gonna huff it down to you real quick. I should have done it beforehand.
What's up?
You got a collar on one.
That had to be a typo, right?
Yeah.
Oops.
I got a guy, question on foreclosure.
On foreclosure? Okay. What's our out on this one, at the bottom of the hour?
The what?
When, do we go out at the bottom of the hour then?
We go out when we're done, we can do it, it's not hard.
Oh, okay. Just because that's actually, can be a big topic.
She can do the news whenever.
Okay.
Welcome back to Real Estate Today, your headquarters for home and loan questions every week. My name is Tom Kelly. I write about homes and loans. And today we're talking about loans and in general mortgage interest rates for 2017. We're going to head over the phone lines right now and speak with Dennis down in Gig Harbor. Hi, Dennis. How you doing? Okay, let's hear it. So let me make sure I understand you. And Mark Palmer's here. He's a lender, so he can help us. When you went to the trustee sale the first time, did it sell? So
Did not.
so it did not sell. So the lender didn't come in and bid the amount that he or she was owed. Is that correct?
Okay. Okay. Is there any equity in your house? Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple things, go ahead. I was just gonna say, there's a couple of pieces here, that may be available to you. First one is your loan a VA loan that you have right now? It is not, okay. Back in the old days.
Those were famous, Dennis, those were famous loans.
Yep, yep.
So what's interesting to me is that the lender who ended up with your loan did not accept the modification. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so, did your attorney have you keep making payments, or have you stopped making payments? So there's a couple, three things that come to mind. There are people, and it just depends on where you're gonna be in the equity position in your home. There are people who will go out and do the trustee sale and purchase your house out of the trustee sale. You're gonna be in what we call hard money. It's expensive, but it is one of those situations where it might be a possible option for you. We'd probably wanna talk about this off the air, because I need a lot more particulars. Best number to reach me is gonna be area code 206-972-3820. Let's get a little bit deeper and see if we've got something that might work for you, Dennis.
Dennis, help me understand this. How long has it been since you've heard from a lender about you owing it money?
Yeah, that'd be normal. Yep.
And how long has it been since you heard from them?
You've gotta move. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Are you making your payments on your chapter 13 on time? Ah, okay, I got it, okay. Yep. Yep,
It is,
Call me.
and
yep,
give Mark a call, because you having no debt, it actually puts you in a better place than you might think. So give him a call during the week and see what you guys can strategize, because I think there might be an out for you. Right, thanks
Thank
for
you,
the
Dennis.
call, Dennis. You know, a lot of times, Mark, people not only are backwards on the house, but they're backwards on a variety of loans, including credit card debt.
Yeah.
Dennis has no debt, and his house has been in jeopardy. I think what he's got going for him is, he tried to make the loan modification,
yeah,
and the new lender wouldn't take it. I mean, that's a little extraordinary.
it is, and I can't help but wonder, Tom, is that if there's something in between there that got missed, maybe, I don't know, maybe the advice and direction he received just wasn't quite on the money, because lenders don't want the house. You know, they want their payments, so, we'll just have to find out, and we'll see where the story goes.
You know, before we take a break for the news, I wanted to ask you about employment, especially in the Puget Sound area.
Yeah.
I mean, employment always pushes home sales. There are a lot of jobs around here. What about all these folks who are coming in here looking for jobs?
Mhm.
Is it your take that employment will continue to make housing really expensive? And I'll tell you, there's not a lot of inventory out there.
No, there's not. And the part that we've got right now is, and it's not like we haven't seen this cycle. I mean, Tommy and I have talked about this over the years. Anytime you can buy your house for significant less than you can rent your house, people are going to be buying. And we can get all these trends about, the 30-somethings are taking longer to buy and all this good sort of stuff. But if you can go to a house in somewhere neighborhood that you want to be in, and you're going to rent it for $2,500, but you're going to buy it for $1,900, that's going to keep our market going. And that's number one. Number two, you take a look at the cranes in the sky. We are absolutely still having an influx of people, and they're going to continue. And employment in Seattle is spectacular, and that's why we're sitting in the number one market in the nation. We trade once in a while with San Francisco and Portland, but overall, we're the number one market in the nation. We've got the employment, we've got the scenery, we've got the housing, we've got the diversity of the housing. I mean, go north, west, east, south, pick different neighborhoods and geographic locations. I mean, just everything. We got a ways to go.
Inventory's gonna remain tight.
It's gonna remain tight. It's gonna stay tight.
We're gonna take a break for Sherry in the news, and then we're gonna come back and talk more with Mark Palmer during the second half of the show. And what we're gonna focus on is those folks who wanna sell and buy another home, but can't because they've been losing out on multiple bid offers. We got a lot to say about sellers that wanna move when we come back. We do wanna hear from you, 1-888-973-KIRO, 1-888-973-5476. The website's mynorthwest.com, KIROradio.com. Shoot us a comment. We'll get it online on the air right now. The show's Real Estate Today. We'll be right back. So now you got a break.
There we go.
There you go.
She's back.
I'll get it right this time.
You get it right every time.
Coach Bob Schmetzenheimer.
Coach blah, 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 blah.
Wouldn't it be fun to just throw out there, Coach blah, 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 has said. see if anybody even notices.
I'm sure they always do. I'm sure I have emails
You have
already.
email already, yeah.
It's
It's Pete Carroll.
how do you not know how to say Pete Carroll? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sorry. I do, I promise. These are very easy names.
Oh, it's true.
It's my last newscast. Here we go. I've been here since 2 in the morning.
Oh my. Bedtime.
Yeah. Usually I'm weekdays. Usually I do 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Right.
But I'm covering for somebody, so it's like, 2 a.m. came early.
Do you have to get up and do this again tomorrow morning then?
I come in tomorrow at 10. I just do my regular shift tomorrow.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're going to sleep today.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's my entire plan. Just go home, lay on the couch, watch the game until I fall asleep.
And call it good.
Call it good.
Did you see any Sounders game yesterday?
I didn't. I had to get to bed early so I could get up here, but I knew when I got in this morning, I saw clips. It was
Beautiful.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Beautiful game. Yeah.
And I was thinking about the people that went, and bought the tickets. It's like that had to have been the longest game.
Long.
ever.
And cold.
And
Yeah.
cold. Oh,
Yeah.
so cold.
Yeah.
And worth it for the fans. But imagine those Canadian fans that
Oh,
just waited in their hometown
Yeah.
forever.
Poof.
Just done. Oh my God. Felt good. Felt
Go
great.
home and have a hot dog.
Yeah, no, that was a great game right
Oh.
there. A low-pressure winter weather system moves across the Midwest and goes east today. Bruce Sullivan is a senior forecaster with the Weather Prediction Center. A winter storm warning is also in effect for the Cascades until tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. This affects King, Snohomish, Pierce, and Lewis counties, according to the National Weather Service. The mountains could see up to 1.5 feet of snow in the next 24 hours. No lowland snow is expected to hit, although a cold front moving down from Canada later in the week, we could see an inch or two by next weekend. One of the year's most controversial phones is finally being put out of its misery once and for all. CBS News correspondent Mike Sugarman has the details. A deconstruction project is snarling traffic for Seattle drivers this weekend. The Washington State Department of Transportation crews have closed the 520 bridge so they can dismantle one of the old ramps to nowhere that still stands over part of the span. Steve Pierre with the department says it's a tricky job. The bridge is scheduled to reopen tomorrow morning for the commute around 5 a.m. Time now for a look at the KIRO 7 pinpoint weather. Highs today will be in the mid-40s with overcast skies hanging around all day and some scattered showers. The low tonight will be around 38 degrees. Right now it is slightly rainy and about 42 degrees outside in Seattle. I'm Sherry Trussler, and your next update will be later on after the Seahawks game. This is KIRO Radio 97.3 FM.
Would a tax on outsiders buying housing in the Puget Sound area work? A lot of us have read how the Asians in Vancouver are being taxed heavily for buying properties in the Vancouver area. Would that happen in the Puget Sound? Would it work here? Next week, housing analyst Michael Lewis will be here talking about the possibility of an outsider tax right here in the Puget Sound area. Listen in next Sunday at 9 about the outsider tax. We've been talking with Mark Palmer about interest rates and about housing in 2017. Mark, what happened to all the people that wanted to sell their homes, put them on